Around 65 people turned up to the first of 4 big debates organised by the government. Policy and Reform Minister Chris Robertshaw has got his dialogue underway. The audience were randomly selected voters. Now, you've invited overall 4,000 people to take part in this big debate, and you had 65 people last night. Would you say that's fairly poor turnout?
No. I mean, it was the quality rather than the quantity, I think, and I thoroughly enjoyed the night. It was in 2 parts, really. The first part was myself and Eddie Tier putting over some concepts and some ideas, and the second 2/3 of the meeting were people voting on those concepts, ideas, and also responding to their own voting pattern, and we discussed that in greater detail, and I learnt a lot from it. It was a great opportunity to listen to a good cross-section audience. Good night.
What would you say overall was the public's response?
On the evening, you mean, or generally?
Just on the evening, from the audience?
I think there was really good engagement. We were open and honest where we thought we were getting things wrong. I think that was appreciated. There was considerable engagement in a number of the subjects. I think if there was a criticism of it, I think in 1 or 2 areas people wanted us to be a little bit more specific. So we're having a debrief on last night. We're looking at the results, and we're going to nuance it where we think the audience would appreciate us doing so.
I think that has been one of the criticisms, hasn't it? That one question was, should a welfare state support vulnerable people? And obviously the answer to that is yes. So you'll be looking at that ahead of the next meeting? Yes,
what we'll do is we'll try to keep the same questions, but we'll inform those statements much more clearly so that the audience have a better understanding of the range of responses that they can make and whether they're comfortable with them. So I always said right from the word go that this was the start of a long process, and that it was a learning process for us as much as anything, and certainly we're learning from it.
Now, we interviewed Alf Cannon earlier, and one point that he raised was that the Positive Action Group had published online the list of questions, and he said that might be something that you ought to do, is to publish the questions and the responses and the video so that everyone can see it.
Well, we're going to do more than that. We always said we would. I mean, we've got a website and Twitter and email and Facebook. And what we will do is progressively, as the information and responses build up, they will all go on the website for people to see. And as we refine the process and understand it better ourselves and our responses, we will ultimately articulate the issues in a much broader way, and probably use something like SurveyMonkey so that the whole island can get involved. But we mustn't rush our fences. This is an unprecedented process, a very different way of doing things, and we've got to take it steadily. You mentioned earlier on there that we've got 4 meetings, but we're already planning the next series of meetings, which we're looking, for example, at afternoon meetings for older people who can't get out in a dark evening. One criticism we got last night was that, does this reach out to younger people sufficiently and adequately? There were some younger people there, but we're going to consider that. And as I say, some of the meetings the additional meetings will be open. So looking forward to it.
Do you think that having an audience of 65 people is representative? Will you be looking for a bigger turnout at the next meeting?
Well, we have 100 power vote units, so we can go up to 100. I think 65 is a good start, and the numbers who respond will progressively expand as the big debate develops. And this is only the first part of the big debate. It was last night we were dealing with the individual's relationship with government, how government should be responding to the individual, how we focus better on vulnerability. We touched upon modernisation of the welfare state, but that expands to a much greater extent middle of November onwards, when there's an outcome, an outturn, a set of options that government wants to bring out as a response to the CI65 report. So this isn't about one evening. It's about government about senior politicians reaching out and really engaging with people, with everyone, in a new way.